The founder of anarchism was Pierre-Joseph Proudhon. His book, What is Property?, showed that he opposed government, wages, and the economic power of large corporations. Proudhon was the first self-proclaimed anarchist, and he claimed that if you had a wage, that you were working as a slave because you kept coming every day because you needed the money. One of his philosophies was that man's needs would guide the society and we did not need one overarching ruler. These ideas are kind of similar to the ideas of Adam Smith with the invisible hand that guides the economy. Before Proudhon, there was William Goodwin. He was the first in the 19th century Europe to express anarchist thought, but he did not claim himself to be an anarchist. However, he did not support revolutionary techniques to end the use of government. He wanted a slow evolution out of government. Both of these men were influenced by Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Many of his ideas were influential to the roots of anarchism, and he was a very important Enlightenment thinker. One of his main ideas that contributed to anarchism was the moral centrality of freedom. An important figure in Russian anarchism was Bakunin. He was a Russian revolutionary anarchist, and he founded the collective anarchism. He was also an important figure in the founding of the social anarchist movement. He rejected every form of hierarchical systems, and he wrote God and the State to show how he rejected all of these systems. This photo relates to the beliefs of all of these fathers of anarchy because they believed that government and its policies would crush the freedom of man and that people could not be who they truly wanted to be and truly succeed if there was a ruler telling them what to do. As you can see, many of our issues today with capitalism and government were the same as they were before. We have yet to find the perfect form of government. However, in 19th century Europe, the working class was especially fed up with the economic power of large corporations and being chained to the job that they had. They believed that they were not truly free. Because of this, anarchism became very popular with the working class movements of the 19th century Europe and during the Second Industrial Revolution. Another important connection of anarchism to 19th century Europe was with the Decembrist revolt in Russia. As the Russians and other European powers were defeating the French that tried to take over Europe, the guardsmen of Tsar Alexander learned of the liberal ideas that were coming about in other European countries. The guardsmen knew not to bring up these ideas with the Tsar Alexander because he had rejected many liberal ideas before. Soon after, Alexander died, and Nicholas I was supposed to overtake his rule. Nicholas, unlike Alexander, had not grown up in the time of the Enlightenment. He had grown up in a time that hated the revolutionaries and tried to squash any revolutionary movement. Before he was able to take over, there was a period of a couple days. These guardsmen, which now called themselves the Decembrists, decided that they were going to utilize these days. They wanted a constitutional monarchy and many of the other liberal ideas that they had heard of. So they took over the main square before Nicholas was able to claim his rule in Russia. Soon, Nicholas I had arrived with his army and defeated and squashed the Decembrist revolt before it really took off. This relates to anarchism because the Decembrists decided that they were going to change things in Russia by creating chaos and through terrorism and murder.